Hello, cats and kittens. We are back. This is page 2 on your review for probability. So let's take a look. It says Abby drew a marker from the bag, put it back in the bag. She shook up the bag to mix up the markers, and then drew a marker again. So this is her experimental data. She repeated this process until she had performed the experiment of drawing a marker from the bag 60 times. Important number, 60 times. She recorded her results in the table. Complete the table, writing the probabilities as fractions. Okay, so here's her data. Each one of these is 5. So pink, 5, 10, 15 plus 2, 17 times. So 17 out of 60, because she drew 60 times. That's her probability. Orange, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 31. 31 times, 31 out of 60. And then teal, 5, 10, 12, 12 out of 60. So it says compare the experimental probability in the table in part E with your theoretical probability in part B. What do you notice? Okay, this is the experimental. This is the theoretical. Okay. So it says the experimental probability is not the same. It's not the same, although they're close. Experimental probability is usually not exactly the same as a theoretical probability. Think about it this way. If I have a coin and I'm flipping it, heads or tails, every time I flip it, I have a 1. If I'm going to pick tails, every single time, I have a 1 in 2 chance of flipping tails every time. That's my theoretical probability. But when I actually flip it, I might flip tails 3 times in a row. So that would be my experimental probability, 3 out of 3. So it's experimental is what actually happens when you try it. Theoretical is what theoretically should happen based on the data. Last question. It says a bag of marbles contains 10 red marbles, 4 yellow marbles, 8 green marbles, and 2 blue marbles. You draw 1 marble from the bag. Do you think that all the outcomes in the sample space are equally likely? List the colors of the marbles from least likely to most likely in that they would occur. Okay, so no is the answer to the first question. Do you think that all the outcomes are the same or equally likely? No, they're not, because there's more red marbles than there are, let's say, blue marbles. So list the colors from least likely. Least likely is blue because there's only 3 blue. Next would be yellow because there's only 4 yellow marbles. Next would be green because there's 8 green. And the most likely is red because there's 10 red. Now you could put this on a number line, and you could have 0 on this end, and you could have 10 on this end, and you could plot these colors where they would go on a number line just to show least likely to most likely. Or you could just list them in order. So like I said, all of these questions, there's similar questions on the test. There's also a 4-level question on the test that is not here on the review. So make sure you check your answers, and if you have questions, bring them to the Google Meet today, and I can go over more with you. Hope you're all staying safe and staying well. Miss you guys.